Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about probably what's been one of the toughest weeks to be a Qubic investor. And I think during this week, I got some of the worst news, or definitely what's been the worst news that I've got as a Qubic investor. So it's just been a tough week all around, I'm sure, for you guys. And some of what I share in this video is probably going to be a bit tough. So let's talk about that and let's see, is it time to actually sell all your Qubic or what's going on? So let's get into it now. So yeah, guys, before I share this really bad, the worst news, I don't want to say really bad news, but the worst news that I've had since I've come into the Qubic ecosystem or become a Qubic investor, I guess it's good to start by saying that the fact that this is the worst news that I've experienced goes to show that this isn't that there's a lot of good news happening in Qubic and we haven't been let down a lot before. But basically, this bad news relates to the IPO, which happened this week for the game My Last Match. And by the way, My Last Match, the computer game, it's the first computer game that's going to be released on Qubic. It's actually sounding like it's going to be a really good game and might be the first decent crypto game that we've seen develop. Now, I don't know that for facts, but a lot of the information that I'm hearing is making it look like this could be a proper computer game. So I'm really interested in that. But anyway, yeah, the bad news is that we had the IPO for My Last Match, which was expected to burn anything between 5 to 10 trillion and possibly more. And basically, people would bid for shares. There's going to be 676 shares. When they would bid for shares, once they'd win a bid, they'd get that share at the end of a week-long bidding kind of cycle. And then at the end of that bidding cycle, when they get that share, it would allow them to get some property in the game that they could trade. And apparently that property would be tradable and be worth a lot more than what they were investing. So that was really interesting and cool concept. And that's the idea of IPOs on Qubic. And here's where the bad news comes in, is that Qubic, for it to work, these IPOs and burning mechanisms are really important. So let me elaborate on that. So basically, when people bid and buy and, bid into this IPO and get a bit of this IPO and get a share in it, the Qubic that they bid gets burned then. And then since that Qubic has been burned, it means that it's out of circulation and Qubic supply reduces instantly. So then that 1 trillion inflation that you have in Qubic every week all of a sudden becomes negligible because you end up with a supply that's just hovering around the one spot, or if anything's deflating, and that's what we're aiming for with Qubic. So that was super exciting. So this was expected to be a really big burn. We already got a burn before that was 10.5 trillion, which was for the Qubic DEX. So we expected this one to be the same, and we were thinking that this is going to push Qubic price up, and we're going to stop seeing that supply inflating so much. So basically all week, we didn't see many bids coming in. There was no panic because, as Come From Beyond here said, the IPO basically is just starting because 90% of the bets happen 1 hour before the end of the time that you can bid for a share of the IPO. So there was no panic as far as that went. But then what happened was that basically the burned supply just ended up being 500 billion. So only half of what a weekly inflation is being burned out this game. Now, that is worrying and annoying because we're hoping to see the inflation stagnate. But what's positive about it is they have identified why that happened. And basically, I just shared something here on Twitter, and I said that the Last Match IPO wasn't anywhere near as successful as expected. 0.5 trillion burned, but the reason for this poor performance has been identified, so hopefully the next burns will perform better. And the reason was, as Come From Beyond came out and pointed out, My Last Match burned much less than the other IPOs. People were bidding insanely high amounts to get the top bonus instead of bidding for more shares. It's a valuable lesson for future IPOs. And basically what that meant is that the top share in the whole IPO gave the most rewards, and people bid as high as 1 trillion on that one share, while they weren't bidding much at all for the lower shares. Now, don't ask me the details exactly of how that 1 trillion turns into the 473 billion burned. I think some of it becomes burned, and I think some of it then goes into the smart contracts, the way it works. But I don't quite understand all the details of that. But basically, what it means is that for the next IPO, we're going to have to see this perform much better. And then, gradually over the years, smart contracts and the whole ecosystem that's working on Qubic should burn more Qubic. But for now, we haven't seen the burn that we're hoping for, and Qubic is most likely going to cross over that 100 trillion supply line, which isn't what we were hoping for. And now, as you can see, the Qubic price, it's been going down, ranging lower over the last few weeks, and probably over the next few weeks till the next IPO, we're going to get miners dumping their Qubic, and we're going to see that price going down, I would imagine, unless the whole market starts moving up. Then if the whole market starts moving up, just the fact that Qubic is a very strong project still, I think then you could see Qubic go sky high. But the problem is right now, we've got a highly inflating supply. We're not getting the burns that we expected, and the supply is completely outstripping the demand right now. So it's not a great look for Qubic, honestly, in that regard. But I still, if this wasn't a project where I didn't believe in the creators and I didn't see the track record of the creators and see that they've already identified why this IPO wasn't successful, when other projects like space, projects like that, I'd be losing my certainty on it. But with this project, I'm still very certain that the guys know what they're doing, and that this is just a small correction. And I'm thinking, if Qubic's price goes down, that's a positive, and I'll be buying more. So I'm still super positive, but I gotta admit, this is the biggest disappointment I've seen since I came into the Qubic ecosystem. I was expecting at least a few trillion to be burned in this IPO. So there's another couple of IPOs coming up in the next few months. So let's see how they go, and hopefully they'll be more successful. So then, continue on the bad news kind of front. For me, this was bad news, and it was bad news for a few people. So we had the CFB airdrop happening this week, and I just commented yesterday that, well, what a shame. I said I sent the 1 million Qubic for the CFB airdrop, but my transaction actually failed, so I didn't get the CFB airdrop. And I said it sucks. I was hoping to get involved in that project, but that's life. My mistake, which it was my mistake. I didn't check to see did my transaction succeed. But yet again, I was trusting in the Qubic network that was working without transactions failing. So that was, it's just not been a good week for Qubic in my eyes. And I said some of you might have faced a similar situation where you didn't see the CFB being dropped into your wallet, and quite a few people did. So then this person just commented, because I'd asked on the Discord, is there any way since I can prove that the transaction had failed? They said you can. We were supposed to check it. They did comment this, and they said, if I missed it, sorry. And then this person here called Ghost did comment and said that the CFB claim drop coincided with a network bug that was messing with 3/4 of all ticks 2 weeks back. If you looked at the Network Explorer at that time, it was red all over for failed ticks. Developers were on it, and it was resolved over a week ago. Unfortunate timing of the bug sucks. So again, that is really reassuring, because I was thinking, well, why are all these transactions failing? Like, this is meant to be a good network. Why are transactions failing? But it was just a bug at the time, which is a normal thing for an early days project. It was resolved. Now transactions are working fine. I'd never had issues with transactions before, but unfortunately at this time the transactions were failing for me and a lot of other people, so they didn't get their CFB airdrop. But then, some incredible stuff, because once I posted that, this person here, Cezanne, and I hope there's someone that watches my videos as well, so I can give my appreciation to them here. But I know I interact with them on Twitter regularly, and I didn't know a lot about the person. I still don't know the person. I'm a stranger to them; they're a stranger to me. But incredibly, they sent me 25 million CFB just as an act of appreciation for the hard work that I'm doing, which I just thought was so cool. And that just shows there's such a strong community around Qubic and a strong belief in this project. So then, I reached out to, well, basically then two people, when I shared this, commented under that link, under this comment, and, it's one of them I know here had commented before that they didn't receive their airdrop either, and then this other person just cheekily asked me for 1 million CFB, and I looked first. Firstly, I knew this person already hadn't got their CFB airdrop, so I sent them 4 million CFB because I wanted to share some of the, I wanted to share the success as well, and if someone was good to me, I wanted to pass it on. And then this person here, I don't know whether they received the airdrop or anything like that, but what I saw when I looked at their profile on Twitter was that they were an active supporter of the Qubic community. They weren't just someone, pulling out their link everywhere trying to get money. So I sent them that 1 million for that reason. But yeah, I just got to say huge thanks to this person, Suzanne, because I don't care so much about the 25 million CFB, but even though that's that could be worth quite a bit. So that I'm really appreciative of that, but also just because I'm involved in the Qubic community and I want to talk about projects that are part of it. I wanted to have some skin in the game for CFB and be working, with trading and things like that, just to see how it plays out. So that was really cool that they sent it on to me. And obviously I could have bought some CFB too, but it was just cool to get the airdrop that way from them. So I really, really appreciated that. And then it's just another thing. I'm not sharing this to like toot my own horn or whatever, but the reason I'm sharing this is to show how much I believe in Qubic as a project, and I believe in the Qubic community. Now, as projects go, nothing, still an early days project. I don't know if it's guaranteed to be a success, but I know that this is a project that could be a huge success with the right backing behind it. And you might have noticed I shared my last video, and I've been sharing it on Twitter lately, that the Qubic team have been trying to raise funds to get more listings on some major exchanges. So I did donate 90 million Qubic to that. And it's not a huge amount of money, but it's a decent amount of money. I'm not a super rich guy. I felt comfortable donating that 90 million because I actually won a competition with the Qubic community a while back where I got 250 million Qubic off them. So I felt comfortable then in investing that into helping out the ecosystem, just giving back. And I think it's important just to give back. And these are the addresses that you share with. I mean, I've contemplated, you can go and look at me on Twitter or look in the Qubic Discord or look wherever you want to see, can you donate that money. I contemplated sharing the links down in the description of this video for anyone that wants to contribute, but the issue is you get so many scammers, or I can't 100% trust links either myself, so I just don't want to be sharing links to you guys and then you're donating and it turns out that someone just scamming everyone. But these are genuine links here, but someone down in the comments some way could mess about with it. So I didn't want to share that, but I just wanted to share that point again, not to toot my own horn, but to share the fact that I believe in this community, I believe in this project, and I want to give back to the project and try and work together and help it grow as much as I can. So yeah, then let's move on to the positive news of what's going on in the Qubic community. So come from beyond shared that no AI equals no AI sector equals no possibility. And he said, by the way, tomorrow we are stepping into AI self-development epoch. Mark this day in your calendar. And then sure enough, today we got the announcement in the Qubic Discord, and they said self-evolving AI. Today we are introducing a groundbreaking upgrade to our AI training algorithms. The new ANN, Artificial Neural Network framework, now allows the network to train and evolve autonomously, reducing the need for manual tweaks and interventions. This marks a significant step towards a more adaptive and self-sustaining AI. And then they commented on another few things, but then they said, Moving forward, these enhancements not only increase the capabilities of our AI, but also pave the way for more sophisticated and independent AI solutions in the Qubic network. We are excited to see how these autonomous systems will develop and integrate within our ecosystem. So basically, they're giving up control as much as they can of training these AIs, and they're just letting the AIs evolve themselves. That's really as high level of an understanding as I can have of it, and probably as most of you guys are going to have. It sounds incredible. Time's only going to tell. Does it work like it sounds? We don't know for, I don't know for a fact anyway, but it sounds incredible. But at the same time, they could have said to me, we're getting a packet of biscuits to eat another packet of biscuits. Like, it's just, I don't understand what they're doing or what they're saying. Again, if this was another project that I didn't know the creators of quite so well, I didn't see how community driven they are, didn't see how active they are, didn't see the track record of the creators, I'd be questioning whether, they're just talking rubbish. I don't know, but right now I believe what they're doing with Agart sounds really great, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this evolves. But I've got nothing more to say in it because I don't understand it. Don't understand it enough. So then some cool stuff again is that we can see here that Eric Fung, who is the leader of APAC Growth with Qubic, is going to be talking at the Google Cloud New Wave of AI and Web3 conference. And if we look here, we can see that there's, Web3 reimagined, the power of Google Cloud AI. So lots of people with AI in here talking. Michael Young, strategic advisor with Google Cloud. Then we've got Henry W. and Kate W., CTO and CEO of RSS3. Then we've got a lot of things in AI and NFT, AI's the impact on the Web3 landscape and opportunities and challenges. And then we've got people with the Nimble network in there and crypto.com. But really, really interesting that Qubic is going to be on this session. Now, they're obviously not, Eric Fung is not going to be talking for long. I mean, this is half an hour, this section of the whole speech. So they're probably going to just have a small input, a small bit of discussion. But it's cool to see that they're involved in this. I don't know where that's going to go either, but I think just seeing their name getting out there is really important. And Qubic is at that stage of networking, trying to build out this network, build out these relationships, and they're still so early days. And then it makes you think about projects that were launched 10 years ago. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't fans of XRP or Ripple, but like XRP or Ripple, if you look at all the relationships they've created, all the partnerships they've created, like that's really, really powerful. You look at, even things like Hedera or like HBAR, I don't want to name out all the projects, but all these projects have built out so many relationships and so many connections, and now Qubic is just starting that long road and that long journey from here. And Qubic's definitely, their technology is revolutionary, but now they've got to catch up in terms of building out those relationships, and that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. So then this was something that kind of, with all the IPO drama that was going on this week, I think this announcement kind of went under the radar for the Qubic team made. So they said market making funds announcement from CCF. So they said, we are excited to announce the plans for enhancing liquidity across multiple exchanges with a focus on the distribution of market making funds, totaling approximately $1 million USD, shared equally between USDT and Qubic. Participate in funding liquidity. The initiative requires a loan of 250 billion Qubic, which equates to $1 million USD at the current rate of $4,000 per billion. This amount will be used specifically to boost trading volumes and improve liquidity. The funds are not spent, but rather temporarily allocated for this strategic purpose and taken out of the CCF, computer controlled fund. So that's right, what's important there is you guys aren't going to have to be spending this yourself. This is just a computer-controlled fund that's part of the Qubic network, and they're taking this money out and loaning it out to improve liquidity in the Qubic network. So then they said strategic allocation for enhanced trade. By lending these funds to a designated market maker, we ensure that liquidity is maintained, making trading more efficient and accessible. The loan will be repaid upon the end of the contract or if the market making services are deemed no longer necessary. Investing in market stability. This strategic investment into market making aims to support stable and healthy trading activities, ensuring a robust economic environment on the exchanges where Qubic is listed and soon to be listed. This is a chance to be part of a calculated and significant financial move that will strengthen the market presence of Qubic and enhance the overall trading experience. So basically what this is saying, firstly, I think it's showing that some major exchange listings must be on the horizon here, and then they're going to invest this money or loan this money into the market making systems to, I think, reduce to make Qubic price action more stable, I guess, or it's going to make the price action more stable and make Qubic more liquid, meaning that just there's, as I said here, healthier trading activities. And that's my highest level of understanding. But yet again, every week we're seeing the progress in the Qubic network. We're seeing more and more being done. There's development happening all over this network. And the only downside is just this should have been a really, really positive video and a really positive week with a great IPO taking place. And I'm really hoping that the Qubic team can learn from this and can make that next IPO really kill and burn a few trillion Qubics so that we see, we could see how this ecosystem is going to play out. So that's really where we're at with things right now, guys. That's all I've got for you today, guys. I hope to see you all on the outside.